Does anybody there care about the Super Bowl?
I think Philadelphia lost. I saw some headlines. It shows you that they want the world to be terrified of how barbaric and awful they are. Clearly, they have no moral boundaries. What's to stop them from going further?
Let's go live to Ukraine and Joseph Lindsley. Hello, Joe. Does anybody there care about the Super Bowl? Did you or your colleagues there at Ukrainian Freedom News get to watch it?
Bob, no one had time or energy to care about it. I don't even know. I think Philadelphia lost. I saw some headlines, but
yeah, you got it. Yeah, I can understand how you've got more important things to worry about over there.
I don't know who they lost to.
Oh, well, the Chiefs won.
Okay.
And I'm happy to fill you in on anything you need to know from around here. I wanted to ask you about something I saw in the news over the weekend about this Wagner group, and they're no longer recruiting Russian prisoners for their army. What do you make of that?
Well, as you know, so Wagner is a Russian mercenary corporation. It's run by a guy who's known as personal. They call him Putin's personal chef. He owned a lot of restaurants, and Putin trusted him to make Putin's food so that he wouldn't be poisoned. And he's led this mercenary group they've done activity in Syria, in Africa, and they have been the main fighting force trying to take Bakhmut, that small city of Bakhmut, for many months. What we hear from Russia, or including from the Wagner group, it's hard to know what's propaganda and what's not. So maybe they still are recruiting prisoners, maybe they're not. This morning, and there's two images I saw in the past couple of days that really disturbed me, and I think that really show what Ukraine is facing and what the world is facing with Russia as an enemy. And one of these images came from the Wagner group. They have a private Telegram channel, sort of that social network to share information called the Gray Zone, and that's known to be affiliated with the Wagner group. And they showed a video that I couldn't watch the video. I just saw the still image of it. But there was allegedly one of these prisoners that Wagner had recruited to come to Ukraine to fight. He's changed his mind. He said this is unjust, and this is not a good thing that we're doing. And so Wagner said that they had to punish him, and they put a block of like a block next to a concrete wall, and they tied his head to it. And the only thing I'll say is the next thing you see a guy with the sledgehammer. And this is, whether or not that story is true, this is what Wagner wants the world to see and to feel. So maybe they did kill that guy, or maybe this was all a stage, but it shows you that they want the world to be terrified of how barbaric and awful they are. And they think that that's the way that they will win. And I think I don't want anyone to watch that video, but if you just see the still image, Wagner's sledgehammer, you can Google it, but do not watch the video. You can really feel this is the evil that Ukrainians and the whole free world are facing. This is what Russia is. This is what they're seeking to spread. And if you ever negotiated or let them have any territory, they clearly have no moral boundaries. What's to stop them from going further? And then the other image, which I sent to your team, Bob, as well, was, I spoke to you last week about that American nurse I know who was wounded. They were in Bakhmut, again, where Wagner's trying to take the city of Bakhmut, and they had just arrived to help people who had been wounded by artillery strike. And seconds later, as soon as the medical team, which included Americans, arrived, the Russians fired another artillery rocket, and someone was filming. And you can see a still image of the rocket seconds before it hit the medical evacuation van. And you can see the face of Dr. Peter Reed, the American Marine veteran, who's a medical doctor who was killed just maybe a split second after that photo was taken. And to see that rocket clearly targeting the medical team, they think that there were some Russian drones that knew exactly where this team was. It was a direct hit on their vehicle. And so clearly the Wagner group, which is sort of supposed to be the most elite Russian warriors, is targeting, waiting to target peaceful medics from all over the world who are coming to help. And so those two images show us that we're really facing something incredibly evil.
So awful. As we've connected the last week or so, and as we get closer to that anniversary, 1 year of this war, things have intensified. Are you still in Kharkiv, Joseph? And have things, at least over the weekend, quieted down any?
Yeah, I'm still in Kharkiv. The past 24 hours have been calm here. We still have a lot of alarms. In fact, I no longer have my noise canceling headphones on when I sleep.
Good.
As I did last week. But I hear the alarms in my dreams. I hear the explosions in my dreams, and you're always kind of on edge. In Ukrainian, the word for air alarm, provitrna trevoha, the alarm is the same as the word for anxiety, which the root of that word is weight. And I'd say everyone really does feel this heaviness here. Saturday, in the center of the city, there was not most places had no power. And then right after curfew, I had just returned to the hotel. Curfew's at 11 p.m. and it had been a peaceful day. And some time to relax. And then before any alarm could sound, boom! The Russians they fired three missiles on the city of Kharkiv. And so obviously that threat remained. It's kind of every other day right now. And people are feeling tired. I've spoken with many friends around here and friends back in Lviv. One friend is telling me in Lviv he's playing Chet Baker because the blue mood, and that's how we all feel now. And there's a lot of that. But I think that it's sort of common practice throughout this country. Whenever people start to feel tired, you immediately talk to people. You tell people that you're feeling tired, that you're getting depressed, and then everyone kind of comes together to help each other, saying, we understand that this is difficult and tiresome, but we got to keep going. Otherwise, victory would not be possible. And so through the weekend, I talked with foreign soldiers who are on a small break before they're going back to fight. And they're going back to the war circumstances and situations. Incredible courage. And it's sort of this, people share their stories and give each other energy and keep going. But it is this air anxiety perpetually every time you look at the sky.
You're giving each other therapy, and it's much needed there. More on all of this, images and information and various links, UkrainianFreedomNews.com, Joseph Lindsley. Until tomorrow, and hopefully it'll remain mostly peaceful. Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you, Bob.
Lindsley, world's most interesting man.
This I find in my garden. It's peace from rocket.
Help us to win in this war.